A little over a week ago, I stood here and I told you all that I don't like to argue about certain political issues. And I left that day deeply embarrassed. I basically admitted that I have a limited arsenal of arguments in an argumentation class. And beyond that, I implied that some of the biggest issues of my generation are not worth my time. And that's a lie. So, I decided to challenge myself. I decided to take a stance on one of the most tired, most beaten to death issues out there, abortion. Now, let me tell you about it. So, for many years, I was pro-choice, but I didn't really pay attention back then, and a lot of my political positions were really selfish. Taking the selfish road is cheap, and sitting on the fence is even cheaper, which is what I did in recent years. So, I took a side. I'm pro-life. Now, let me take you through the corridors of my mind and show you how I came to that conclusion. In life, we make a lot of assumptions. We process bits of information, we expand them in our heads based on experience and logic. And we do this all the time with personhood. We meet infants, and by some common logical or biological sense, we assume that one day they will become toddlers, then adolescents, then teenagers, then adults. It's easy, we assume this, right? So why do we assume that a fetus does not have a place in that equation? Can we not just as easily expect a fetus will become an infant, then a toddler, an adolescent, teenager, an adult, an elder? Do we have that intellectual capacity? I think so. There's a radio show host I listen to, his name is Ben Shapiro, and he recently said that location is not a good determinant of personhood. That made me think. So I went home and I looked up an article that he wrote back in 2012, it's called Euphemisms. And he said that the real argument for abortion is that babies are not babies until some unspecified time when they become babies. And until that time, they are entirely disposable. Scary, right? So when is a baby a baby? He said that he's never met a pregnant woman who refers to the thing growing inside of her as a fetus, and neither have I. It's always just a baby. So a fetus is a baby, in many minds, in my mind. Now travel with it. What about before the fetus? What about an embryo? What about a single cell? There's a guy named Stephen Meyer, who's a philosopher of science. And what I learned from him about a cell is beautiful. It contains so much information, so precisely organized, so mechanical in its processes, it's mind-blowing. Right? In a lecture he gave in 2011, titled Signature in the Cell, he says that in the very simplest forms of life, we see very striking appearances of design. So, if one cell is so rich in complexity, why is it not living? Do we take the single-celled organisms of the bacteria kingdom more seriously than the human cells in the womb? Of course we don't. We kill bacteria automatically. But we say that they are living, right? So obviously, yes, a human cell is living. Yes, an embryo, a fetus, is alive, and we should recognize that life. And there's a way. There's a petition out there at this website. It's for the Life at Conception Act. Right at conception, life will be protected by the 14th Amendment, and I need you all to sign this. Because in 2013, Guy Benson wrote an article, it's titled Gallup 58%. He shows that the pro-life opinion barely edged out pro-choice by 3 percentage points. We need a redefinition now. Almost every day, I see more reasons to be thankful that I'm here. More reasons to be angry and upset than my fallen friends are not. Infinite reasons to be infuriated that many strangers never had that chance. This life is a gift. It's a gamble of genetics, yes, I understand, but a feasting chance. And until that time there is change, I will always do my part. I vow today, I will always plead with mothers not to forfeit that chance. I will always oppose those practitioners who facilitate that forfeit with knife and chemical in hand. I will always fight against those who dare to grinch that gift away. And I'm asking all of you today, please, be my comrades in arms. Reach deep inside yourselves in consultation and see if your conscience might stand with me today. Stand with me now. Against this brutally conscious, premature, tragic ending. If you're with me, you know where to start. Thank you guys.